issue? Okay, he mentioned that they are also helping with NHIF registration. We have a problem with payment from NHIF. Is it possible that some of your funds be directed to NHIF so that they can collaborate with you and they help to pay us?
Right. Almost like mitigating. Can you now take that burden? To give us the money, you will be left, it's government and they have resources. Good question. Thank you. Yeah, the next one was, where's the mic?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, Dominic, thank you.
Mine is directed to men. One is to appreciate the intention to diversify. Now, one of the things, we are going it alone because probably we do not know what is the timeline for this venture. And I'm asking, how much are you able to chew? And by when? So that we can say now we have stopped moving out and we stay there. Thank you.
All right. In other words, how ready are we? If we say next week is when I wanted to do my purchase of equipment, are you ready as an organization so that we can now start consolidating? Good question. My sister, before Ben, right?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Salome Shira, the Group CEO, Radiant Hospitals. Mine is a clarification from Dr. Fernandez Joki. And by the way, it's nice to bring the name to the face today. Do you say that you are in a position to help us correct? I think I would want that to come out clearly because our organization is owed a lot of money by Minet. And if you are in a position to help us get our money, these are the historicals of 2016, 2017. That is something that I am sure every other person here is struggling with. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Good question. So how can you help us to mitigate those huge debts out there and even now? Yes, Ben.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
Thank you to have brought us together, mates. I had two questions, but I want to thank Father Dominic. He has asked one of the questions I wanted to ask. The other one is to the Equity Bank. You talked well, and you are ready to do business with the FBOs. If by any chance I come to you to finance an equipment in my institution, and we are here under MEDS, how will I make the payments? Direct to you or through MEDS? Thank you.
Good question. Good question. So how is the triangle going to work? Right. Let's have responses on those questions. We can start from this extreme end with the CEO MEDS. How prepared are we? And that kind of thing, right?
Okay. Thank you very much, Father Dominic. How ready are we? Maybe I will address that with what we have done so far. What we've done so far is that we have a strategic plan which intentionally mentions that we have to diversify. And equipments are mentioned in the strategic plan. So it has the blessings of all the church leaders and MEDS owners. What else have we done is that we have gone around where these suppliers are or manufacturers and actually started negotiations. Some of them have come to MEDS and the discussions are at advanced stage. Thirdly, what was left is to get your commitment. Now we have this meeting because we've been walking to different facilities and facilities are saying we need equipment, but we needed to consolidate all these needs because what the manufacturers and the suppliers are asking us, how much do you need of what? So after this meeting, we'll be able to consolidate our needs. So how fast are we going to move depends on the outcome of this meeting. Once we get the blessings, we get a straight direction on where to move. We are ready to move. And for some of the things we are talking about, actually by January next year, we'll have them. For other complicated things, it's the outcome of this meeting which will determine the pace at which we are moving. Thank you.
I'll address the issue from Radiant Hospitals, and I suppose it's a common issue with everybody. The first thing is that it is true, yeah, the name sounds familiar. I used to be in that ministry, but then there was a cabinet reshuffle, and I was taken to another ministry, so I don't directly deal with money. Having said that, we can look into historical debt and see how it can be resolved. It's possible. So maybe we can chat after, and we see how I can help.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll take first the one on NHIF. What was mentioned here is the collaboration we have entered first with the NHIF to expand the membership by financing people who are not registered. So that is the first step. We are the biggest banker for NHIF. I think for the question on whether we can pay you and then we collect to them, we will take that in our next meeting with them, which is being led by our director, so that we propose a collaboration of that nature and we can earn that and come to you. In terms of the other question about if we finance the machine, whether you pay directly to us or to MED, we have to make a working arrangement with MED because it will depend on the nature of the financing of that equipment. For example, if MED is providing the equipment and it's a lease, then we'll collect and pay them because we are the ones with the capability to reach the collections. They may not be able to do that. If we are dealing with the case I have here, he made a bit of reference, which we are working on. It is an importation. We are supporting it through the Bank of the Financial in Japan to get the machine and collect and pay them out. So we will have to go that case by case based on the data from each of the facilities that allow us to see what is the best model for you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. And I think those questions have been well. There was one comment that Prof has.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. Thank you. Sorry, I missed. We have to return calls and all that. That's a good thing with being. Now, on the issue of NHIF, I think it's the right move in terms of equity and other banks as well, because I can tell you, as a large institution, we are owed hundreds and hundreds of millions by the insurances. And it's a nightmare, and I'm not sure, and I can tell you some of the bigger problems that we have, and we hope to solve this as an industry and also as a faith-based organization. That's why I'm going somehow to start recruiting Mets to be also our lobbying arm when it comes to some of these government issues. For example, let's say Jubilee Insurance owes you 50 million. Then you call them and tell them, and Dr. here can attest to that, Minette, right? Let's say they owe you 50 million or 100 million, because for us it's hundreds of millions. Then you call them and tell them, hey, dude, you need to pay. But you know what they do? They send you a check for 40 million, but they don't tell you who they are paying for. What happens? You're going to spend months allocating that 40 million. And you cannot go back to them and tell them, now you haven't paid for this person, this person, this person, especially when you have debts that are 180, sometimes 365, and you're saying to yourself, these people have not paid us in a year, but they still owe us several hundred millions. Now, that is something we need to get together as faith-based organizations and probably start lobbying to make sure the government also gets staff on these insurances to make sure they pay when the bills come due. Mm-hmm. Because they are trading with your money and our patients' money, but instead of them paying on time, they pay you that one big lump sum. They know you're going to take about 3 months or 4 months before you can do the reconciliation. I don't matter the last